Glass. This movie is obviously the belated sequel to Unbreakable and Split as well, that came out a couple of years ago. I like both of those movies. I really, really like Split. I saw that in the theaters. I hadn't seen Unbreakable at that point, but I really, really liked that film, and I was like, all right, this is really awesome. They were, combining these two movies, making a third movie, Cold Glass. M. Night Shyamalan obviously directing, James McAvoy, Samuel L. Jackson, and Bruce Willis, as well as Sarah Paulson, is now in it. I'm not really going to get into the plot because I didn't know a hell of a lot what was really going on going into it, which I was fine with, and I think I'm just going to leave that up. I'm not really going to talk about what's going to happen, but this movie is... this is a very split reaction to this movie, for sure. Pun intended. This movie is dividing audiences, and I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. Look, I didn't hate this movie, but I didn't love it either. I think the one word that really came into my mind the entire way through this film was unnecessary. And I know that might be even a complete different thought of other people saying it was just bad, but I was just, this is not necessary. Honestly, it felt like it was just 2 hours of recapping for like 30 minutes of new scenes and action that I actually cared about. It was just, 75% of this film, I just didn't think, why, like, what are we doing here? And I'm gonna start with the positives, other than that, obviously, but James McAvoy fucking kills it. We know that. We've seen him as this character before, as the Horde, they're calling him, and he's fucking phenomenal. He's really damn good, we know that. And, Bruce Willis, although we didn't get to see as much of him, I did like him when we saw him. As well as Samuel Jackson, again, is good. So the acting is good of the characters, as well as the characters are good. That's something we know from these other films, that these are good characters, and I enjoyed watching them. Sarah Paulson, when they gave her time, is a good character as well, and that's kind of the main thing I liked about this movie, was watching these characters when we got the time to see them intertwine, or just James McAvoy being James McAvoy and absolutely killing this role. But I did like the start. That's another thing. I like the start, maybe the first 15, 20 minutes. I liked that, the kind of start of how we got, into these. Basically, how we intertwine these characters was really good to watch. I really liked that part of the movie, whether David Dunn and then Kevin. I'm going to call him Kevin because he has so many different names, but that's the original name of him. Kevin, James McAvoy, and those kind of intertwines were really good. That was like, I was like, all right, this is cool. Then once it got into I'm just going to call it like the asylum. I don't know what they're really calling it. But that's where I was just like, what are we doing? Lots of recaps. They use other scenes. I think there were deleted scenes from Unbreakable and used them in this to use them as flashbacks. So I thought it was a kind of cool trick, but I just felt like it was just so unnecessary. Like, that's the biggest word of this film, unnecessary. This movie feels sloppy. Look, I did get to the third act. The second act, what are we doing? I was not really enjoying myself. I picked up like halfway through that third act. I was like, okay, and then the ending kills it for me. A lot of people are saying the ending sucked, and I don't blame them. The things they choose to do with the characters, probably not great, and even the way they did them, probably not great either. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys that haven't seen the film, but I just think it's stupid the way things happened at the end. And again, I'm not going to spoil it. Hopefully you've seen it by this point anyway. But M. Night Shyamalan, he's hit or miss. We know that. We've seen his films before. We really know, what he can do and what he can't do. And, I don't necessarily know if I love the choices he made directorially. His shots, a lot of people are saying that they were nice. I think a lot of fans will like a lot of real movie buffs will like these shots. I don't know necessarily if I like them, and that's the thing. It's just, I don't know, it felt like it was too much a lot of the time with that stuff. And then also the superhero stuff kind of was too ingrained for me. And I know you can go, well, that's the whole point. I liked Unbreakable and Split, where they're like, we're going to kind of... Unbreakable referenced that was kind of its thing. But then this, I think, over-referenced this whole thing. And then Split was never really referenced, which I like. And I think this could have been better as like a psychological thriller. And I think they went slightly too over the top with it. And I don't know, I'm really kind of torn with this movie because I never went, this is shit, and I never went, this is great. And I was kind of just sitting there going, alright, there's a lot of dialogue here, there's a lot of scenes that do we need? No, it felt long. It felt like we were here for a long time, and a lot of that was chunked together. I liked the first 15 minutes. I liked of the last 30, 45 minutes, I liked the first half of the third act, and then the end. this is a hard movie to grade. I think it's, maybe the grading could be harsh because there's movies that I've enjoyed that probably could be Gold's guilty pleasure, but I just truly didn't. It's hard because I didn't necessarily hate it, but did I go, oh yes? No, I never did that. So I kind of enjoyed it. It was all right to me, and that's though I'm giving Glass a C. Honestly, guys, this is a huge disappointment for me. I mean, I'm wearing this Brothers Binge t-shirt because I did a podcast a while ago, and when the trailer was released with the guys, the Brothers Binge podcast, subscribe, listen, go do that. But I posted a clip on my YouTube channel, on this channel, of what I was looking forward to. We talked about the movie Glass, and I was hyped for it, and then this happened. I don't know, guys. Thank you guys for watching my review. It's just, it's so hard with movies like this because it's just somewhere in the middle, and I'm usually that way with movies that people are loving or people are hating. I'm like, well, I can see why people hate it, and I can kind of see why people like it. It's generally more towards the shittier side of things, but I had friends I went with, and there was 3 out of 5 of us liked it, like a decent amount, and me and the other guy were like, nah. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Trying to put up at least a video every week. I got my Blu-ray collection coming very, 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 very soon, so look forward to that. Like, comment, whatever you want to talk about, let me know below. But of course, guys, have a good one.